Beloved friends, today we celebrate the first Sunday in Advent. How many of you have not already received a catalog in your mailbox or seen a social media advert showing pictures of special offers or Christmas sales? Other times, our television channels are filled with happy family wearing matching pajamas, looking peaceful and joyful, and you are invited to desire to be like that happy family if you buy the pajamas. If you have not yet seen this, then watch out. Unfortunately, the magnitude of advertising on consumers to purchase at this time seem to change the narrative for the preparation for Christmas. But here is the real countdown. We are in the first week of Advent. And Advent is not so much a matter of holding off on shopping or singing Christmas carol, but it is a gentle shake of the soul, forming an attitude of expectation, hopefulness, and prayerful waiting. The readings this weekend speaks to us words of wisdom as coming from someone who loves us enough to wake us before we drift too far into spiritual sleep. The world is not the source of true authority and not the source of hope for our future. The first reading from the prophet Isaiah, chapter 2, gives us a breathtaking vision. A world where nations lay down weapons, where people walk in the light, where peace is not a dream, but a path people can choose. A part of that hope for future is that all humanity will recognize the need for God's direction in their lives. Now, here, God invites us up to the mountain where His presence will become more evident and compelling. And this invitation is not about us escaping from the world, but that we can begin to see and experience the world from God's perspective. Thus, the first week of Advent is about the renewal of God's promise that He has not given up on the world and He has not given up on you. The significance of this vision of Isaiah is that regardless of where power seems to lie in the present time, the day is coming when God's reign will be established for all humankind to see. And on that day, people from all nations, cultures, and races will be drawn to God. St. Paul continues the invitation in the second reading from his letter to the Romans, chapter 13, as he writes, "It is the hour now for you to wake from sleep." Paul was not scolding the Romans, as he's not scolding us, but he was announcing a healing and the moment of redemption. There are seasons when the heart grows tired, when disappointment lingers, when prayer feels dry, when we go through the motions of our religious rituals, but we feel empty. St. Paul, therefore, urges that every moment in time is a divine possibility. Thus, we are to wake up and pay attention to the imminent inbreaking of eternity within the flux of time. Did you ever wonder how many people today sleep through their lives utterly unaware of what they want and what is the possibilities that they have around them? You may be one of these people. But you know what? This Advent, there is a voice that whispers, "Wake up, not to confusion, but to grace. Wake up to the possibilities you stopped believing in. God is nearer than the darkness, closer than the struggle, more faithful than how you feel about Him." And to sum it up all, Jesus gives the most tender message of all in the gospel reading from Matthew chapter 24. He says, His coming will be like the days of Noah, meaning it will interrupt ordinary life when people may be eating, working, planning. In other words, God is not coming in dramatic moments, but in the middle of everyday life, in your kitchen, in the office, in your worries, in your early morning tiredness, in the conversation you wish had gone differently. Christ is entering quietly, not to frighten anybody, but to awaken hope in us. But you need to be aware. You need to notice the small signs of God around you. You need to notice the person who needs your kindness today. You need to notice the part of your heart that needs healing and needs transformation. You need to notice the quiet nudges of the Spirit that you've been ignoring because of all the noise in your life. Wake up. If you have ever read the novel Macbeth by William Shakespeare, Macbeth describes life with apathy. For Macbeth, life is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. But on the contrary, Advent calls us to see life as God's story, beginning with God's good pleasure, full of judgments and grace, and moves to the time God will make all things new. This is the declaration of the season. So, my dear friends, during this Advent, let us begin gently, not with pressure, but with openness. Let God wake you with His tenderness. Let Him rekindle the desire for peace within you. Let Him heal what has grown weary. Let Him draw you back into the light. Are you ready to do this? May God bless you.